Welcome to TPMG Health Talk. Join us for valuable insights and practical advice on health topics that matter to you most, delivered by our top medical professionals. At Tidewater Physicians Multi-Specialty Group, we're dedicated to providing high-quality, physician-directed care to the Hampton Roads community. Subscribe now and visit mytpmg.com for more resources. Now let's dive into today's episode. Today on TPMG Health Talk, we're joined by Tina Keasey, a licensed athletic trainer and certified strength and conditioning specialist at TPMG Strive Fitness and Sports Performance. With a background in collegiate sports and nearly 2 decades of experience in medically based fitness, Tina helps clients overcome setbacks and build strength at every stage of life. From weight loss to post-surgical recovery, Tina and the team at TPMG Strive Fitness and Sports Performance, or TPMG Strive, offer personalized training programs in a safe, supportive environment. Welcome, Tina.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I think it's important for our listeners to understand how Strive works together with TPMG's physical therapy offices. Can you first talk about how these two programs complement each other?
Well, I think we got to kind of go back a little bit before that. Starting off in doing fitness in Williamsburg, I have a very good relationship with a lot of the physicians in the area. And I actually worked with some of our top orthopedic surgeons when I was the certified athletic trainer and strength coach at Christopher Newport University for about 8 years. So that relationship was already established. So when they were looking to open their PT clinic, my relationship with them was, still very much in the forefront. And they really thought, wow, we love the idea of having our own physical therapist to work with our patients, but man, there's a missing link that we want to make sure we fill. And we really think you're the person to fill that. I was like, well, what do you mean? And they just came and we sat down and we kind of hammered out this center-based where the patient is sort of at the center of this wheel and all these spokes around it with this multidisciplinary approach where everyone had their piece. And that missing link was, how do we continue that care? And that's when I came in and we started talking about, after physical therapy, then what? Like what happens? Mm-hmm. Sometimes people finish up with insurance and they're doing okay, but maybe not to the level that they really want to be at. Like how do we bridge that gap for them? So I came on board and decided, all right, this is great. I can share a space with physical therapists, which I have so much respect working with. And then I have next door to us our orthopedic doctors. And right next door to that, I have a group of some amazing family physicians. And I thought, okay, I have this canvas to create a sort of a fitness model to work within a medical facility. This is amazing because there's nothing like that in this area. And I can create it however it fits. And it was just so much fun being able to figure out the needs of the patients within TPMG by looking at what kind of classes, what could we do as a class for them. So we looked at obviously doing a senior fitness class, which we call our Silver Power Hour. So we thought, okay, well, here's a class that our physicians can feel safe, that they can promote to their patients to get out to then challenge them in a way that they can't in the office. So we can take those deficits and look at, okay, let's get you stronger. Let's work on your balance. Let's do some more cardio, but we do it in a group setting where they make friends in the community. They might share physicians. So it's just really fun to kind of see us be able to create these connections. So then it was like, okay, if we go there, then with orthopedics, like how do we do like sports? So we could do performance-based training, but a lot of those that we're seeing are those coming out of an injury. Okay, so how do we then network a class that is based on getting you back to a high-level performance, but coming off an injury, but work in a class setting? So that kind of filled that need, and we start to kind of look at developing those types of programs. So it was just a lot of fun being able to navigate within TPMG with our doctors and our physical therapists on what the needs were, and then how we could kind of bridge the gap of those needs as fitness instructors. And we've just been really chipping away at that for the past 16 years. And I think we're starting to really make some headway. And I think our patients are really seeing the benefits of seeing that interdisciplinary care, of seeing their physicians or seeing our physical therapist, and then working with us and us being able to bridge the gap to get them to the next level where they're actually feeling stronger and even feeling better than they were pre-injury or pre-surgery.
You mentioned one class already, but can you walk us through some of the services and classes you offer at Strive?
Right now, I'm really, really excited to talk about one of our newer classes. It's the Breakfast Crew, which is just pure strength training. I love it. I love it. The only caveat is obviously we're looking for those early morning people. It's 6 a.m. I know that's a tough hour, but man, if we can get you first thing and you create that habit, it's so hard to break, right? It just becomes a part of your identity almost. It's like, I have to get up. I've got class. I got to meet my people in my community, and we're working out together and we're pushing each other. So
it's a good way
if we
to start
can get
the
them,
day,
yes,
too.
it's great. And then nothing else interrupts that. But this Breakfast Crew is really cool because what I love about it is I have not only one of my former clients, he was actually one of my athletes that I worked with when he was in high school, encouraged him to kind of stick around, and he ended up going to PTA school and was one of our PTAs for many years. So he's looking to do some extra things as he was backing down out of clinical work to more of a part-time basis, but wanted to still fill a gap. He's been into fitness the whole time. All the stuff he's learned from me over the years from high school, and then all the stuff he learned even more as a PTA and working in physical therapy and being a former athlete. It's amazing. We came and sat down and said, okay, what does the class look like? And we thought, who better than to teach people who have either been former athletes or really at a high fitness level, but maybe let life get in the way a little bit, get back into the gym, learn how to strength train, like actually just weight room stuff, like get in here, have a system, and not just say, oh, I guess I'll do this today, or maybe I'll do some bench press, or I don't know, I guess I'm just going to do some squats. Like, it's a systematic class. He's going to progress you. It's already set out for you. You know what weights you're going to do. He's got it all recorded. He knows what the system is for that day, and it's a strictly strength training. So it's not like boot camp where we're doing a lot of running plus abs, and then we're go touch cones and shuffle and then lift some weights or do that kind of stuff. It's all pure strength training. And then he can adapt that if you've had injuries. So if you've had a rotator cuff surgery, but you don't know how to get back to being as strong in your shoulder as you once were, his background in physical therapy all these years enables him to be able to adapt and take you through the progressions and some of the other little things to get you through, to get back to getting back to those maybe heavier weights, to finding that physique you want to get back to, that athletic looking physique. And a couple people that we have in the class are just amazed. They just love it. They love that it's just pure strength training. They're trying to set goals and set, PRs on what they're lifting. I mean, I have a young lady in there. She's never been in the weight room, and she was intimidated. And I told her to try it, and she is in love. She doesn't miss a class, and she's learning how to lift weights. She knows that that's what's going to change her body now that she's in her 50s. And she is amazingly just stepping up every day to the challenges and learning new things about what her body's capable of. And I just love watching her grow, learning something new about fitness because she was so intimidated of just strength training. So it's just really cool. So we're really excited about that class. It's a Tuesday, Thursday class. I know it's 6 a.m. It sounds just grotesque to get up that early.
Well, I mean, like, even though it's early, I don't even know a lot of people who've had injuries that are still like strength training.
Yes. Not
so
to that
that's
level.
what it caught my ear. And so there's hope.
Yes, exactly. Because he's going to take you through it, and you got someone who's going to watch you or spot you. There's other people in there doing that workout with you. And I just think the progressions and the way that it's developed, and you don't have to think about like, what should my percentages be? What should I be lifting? Like, you don't even have to think. He's going to take you through all of that, and you're going to see results because strength training is where the results happen. That's where the magic is, and especially as we age. And I think we start to follow into this gap of, as we age, we do a lot more cardio, and really what saves us is our strength. We have to be strong, and we need the muscle, especially women. So I'm really excited to have this class. I think it's going to take off. What I love the most about our classes, too, is the fact that all of our classes, they're small ratios. So we only keep maybe a 10, no more than 12 to one instructor. So they're very small group, in my opinion. So that way you can get the individualized attention. We can modify all of our classes, whether it's our Silver Power Hour class, where maybe you can only do chair work. Then we're going to modify for you and make sure that you're doing all the same stuff but in the chair, while maybe some of the other ones are working on some of the equipment in your Silver Power Hour. That's fine. If it's boot camp and your back was hurting a little bit because you were doing yard work all weekend, Okay, well, here, during this station in boot camp, why don't you try this while everyone else is doing that so that you can do some more stretching for your back?
It's true
Because
personalized
it's very
care.
personalized care for a small group like that. Because one, you get to know your people in your class. You start to expect to see them. They form friendships, so they're checking on one another. And it's small groups so that we can modify. We can make sure that you're making progressions, that you can't hide in the back and not do all 12 burpees or whatever we might have you do. I
Burpees.
know. So you can't hide, right? We're going to make sure that you're progressing. You're going to get something accomplished. Like, you're going to meet your goals, because you can't get away from us. We're going to see you. We're going to find you. So you can't hide from us in class, that's for sure. So we offer a multitude of what we call boot camp. It's just a basic group fitness class where we're just going to vary it. That's all it is. I mean, I know boot camp can either sound very intimidating for some or very cliche to others. Really is just a fun workout class where we laugh at ourselves. We do some movement patterns. We shuffle, we use bands, we use weights, we lift dumbbells, we are working with the kettlebells, we might flip tires, but we also have some fun where I will design a scavenger hunt and we get out through Newtown and you have to hit certain places and do push-ups or step-ups on the bench over by the clock. It's motivational. It's just the class. It's a group fitness class, and we have people in their 20s, and I have people in my boot camp that are in their 60s, and they are doing everything. Sometimes we modify a little bit, but we're out there having fun. And like I said, we do games, fun fitness games. We challenge each other. We laugh a lot. We check on each other. It really does become very personal, very family, community oriented, and we love that. We get out through Newtown for runs together or walks. So we do stuff in the clinic as well as outside the clinic as far as our workouts are concerned, to keep it fun and fresh. We have classes early morning, we have class in the evening, and we run a Saturday morning class as well. So again, they get to see each other a lot. And so it's very like boot camp can be intimidating, but it's just a fun fitness class just to help you be accountable and keep you safe and keep you working towards your goals. It is very important for us at Strive that we represent the total mission of TPMG, which is to keep our patients centered first. So we make sure that there's something offered for everybody, from a strength and balance class for those who just have really gotten weak or maybe are struggling with the start of Parkinson's or just coming off of a stroke but have been discharged from rehab, but know their doctors want them to continue with care. They want to continue with keeping them active. We find a way in our chair class to keep you moving. We use the bands. We're sitting in the chair. We're going to work balance. We're going to make sure you try to maintain strength, and we're going to meet you where you're at. Then we have an upscale level of that for sort of our upper level seniors, which is our Silver Power Hour. We offer those classes where, we work a little bit more into cardio and a little bit more into muscular strength and endurance. It's a little bit higher level than our strength and balance. We still use the chairs a little bit, but we're out of the chairs and we're moving. Sometimes we'll put the agility ladder out and get you walking through that just so you have to work through obstacles. And then again, we have the boot camp class. And then, of course, our new breakfast crew, which is just pure strength training. And then we also work with athletes of all ages and levels. So we have an athletic development class that we work with in the evenings, and we work from middle school athletes all the way up to professional athletes during that time. So we definitely hit every gamut, and I love that. Never bored. Never bored. There's always something fun and engaging down at Strive. There's always something going on for sure. Between classes and a lot of our one-on-one, because obviously our bread and butter is our one-on-one training, meaning we get referrals from our family doctors straight to us. We get a lot of transitions from physical therapy where people see and watch us because we're in the same clinic as our therapists. So they see us in what we do while they're rehabbing. And they go, well, what are they doing? What do I do to do that? Mm-hmm. And I think that they love to see that, and they want to continue when they see the relationships that we've built with the patients at TPMG. I think they just love it. It starts to feel like home. We have a lot of people that will finish with physical therapy, and what they do is they say, well, what can I do now? Because I don't want to stop. Like, I'm feeling really good. Well, then we offer them an open gym. So what we do is we transition. We say, okay, meet with one of my staff, and the PT will give us all your notes and everything that you've been working on, what goals you've met, and what goals you want to continue to work on. And then if you came in, let's say, for your knee because of knee pain, let's say you had arthritic knee and you've been having some knee pain, Doctor wants you to do physical therapy first to maybe get it stronger and get you moving a little bit better first. And now all of a sudden it's feeling a little bit better. Well, I don't want to stop. So we go, okay, well, meet with one of our training staff and let's get you transitioned to keep going with your fitness journey here. And so we'll look at all those notes, talk to their physical therapist and say, okay. And then we go and do our fitness assessment and do an evaluation, include those notes, and then we come up with a full body plan now. So they might have been working on your knee. Well, now we get to incorporate the rest of you into that fitness journey and keep you moving. And then we design that program for you. We teach it to you. And once you have it, you come in, you pick up your chart, and you just, during our open business hours, you come and work out. And you have your physical therapist right there. You have the trainer that just taught your new workout plan to you right there. So if you have questions, we're here to ask. Or if you're doing it wrong, like I said earlier, we have eyes everywhere. So we're going to see you and be like, whoa, 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 remember, make sure that you're doing it this way, or make sure you're doing it that way for you. Remember, don't want to end up hurting that knee again. And they're like, oh, yeah. So they always know that there's someone watching, even though they're just working out on their own now. They know they have, ice available if they want to ice their knee after their workout. I mean, how many gyms offer ice packs or a hot pack? For you to sit on while you're on the bike because your back was a little sore. So we definitely try to cater to our patients a little bit. We have this transition. They have this relationship with their therapist. So if they had something come up, they can ask them and they can continue on with their fitness journey even after an injury. So that's really fun to see them come off of an injury, come finishing up with physical therapy and say, I really want to continue doing something. And guess what? We offer it right here. So it's great.
That's great, and definitely different from a traditional gym or fitness center.
For sure.
Is there an initial fitness assessment involved for TPMG Strive?
Getting started with Strive is really, really easy. I know some people think because we work in a medical facility that you have to have a doctor's referral to see us. That's sort of the bonus. You don't. And we don't care what kind of insurance you have either. We keep our rates very reasonable. I mean, obviously we're a fee for service, but we try to be very competitive in our rates so that we're accessible. We do not want to try to outmarket ourselves so that we can only see people who can afford us. We want to see everyone who needs us, and that's the most important thing. So our rates always stay at a rate that is affordable for people so they can at least come in and get started so we can get you on the right road. So it's really easy. All you got to do is call. You call, you set up a time for an initial assessment, and you come on in. If we find out during that initial assessment that you have a TPMG doctor or you were coming from orthopedics or from physical therapy at that time, we're going to get the background on you. Okay, let us do a little homework. Let's see what you need. Okay, let's talk about these things. So when you come in, we're going to do an initial assessment. We're going to do a full health history. We're going to get to know you. We're going to talk for probably the first 15 minutes because it's called personal training for a reason. I want to know you as a person. I want to make sure we hear, what are your goals? What are you looking for? What's worked for you in the past? Why isn't it working now? What are your goals? What do you aspire to do? What do you need? So once we get a good sense of what your health history is, what kind of hiccups there might be, what kind of previous injuries you've had, if there's stuff that we don't know, like if you've had a certain, disease or, health problem that we've never heard of, we're going to ask. And the great thing about TPMG is there's someone here that can answer my question and get me on the right road, right? I have everyone right here at my network, right, that I can ask. What is that? I have never heard of this before. So what would be contraindicated for this person if I started working with them? Oh, I'd have to keep their heart rate down to a certain, okay, great. That's easy to do. Oh, I don't need to be doing this. Okay, great. Let me make sure I make those notes. So we do all of that, and we make all of those notes. And then we take you through what's called a functional movement screen. Because most of us really know if you're coming to see a personal trainer, it's because you want to get stronger. You want to get in better shape. You want to get fitter, right? So
also discipline. That's
why
I would need.
Yep, accountability. So the last thing I'm going to do is try to see, well, how much can you squat? And how many squats can you do in a minute? I know there's the standard kind of fitness testing. But for us, I'm like, well, we're going to do all that stuff. But how about I do a screening where I'm going to make sure you're doing it right? So let me look at how you move. What do your movement patterns look like? So that's what we look at. So it's a functional movement screen where we're going to look at fundamental basic movement patterns, and we're going to assess how that looks right to left to right, How do you walk? How do you sit? How do you stand? What's your step over? What's your hurdle step over? And we take that as a roadmap so that when we design your fitness program, you're going to actually address some of these asymmetries or things that might be a little unbalanced, or where you might be compensating, maybe because you have an arthritic knee and now all of a sudden the opposite foot's bothering you. Well, because maybe you're putting too much weight on that side. And we're going to help you try to balance all that, make sure that you're doing the right stretches, the right strengthening things. And then we're going to make sure we cue you really well to make sure your patterns are really good. And then we're going to start to slowly layer that. So once we found that foundation, we're going to layer that. And then we're going to keep building on that and building on that as long as you're with us. So we really want to make sure we get that roadmap. And that's what our assessment does. That way we really get to know you. And then we watch your movement patterns so that we can develop and keep you safe. Because one of the biggest things we talk about down at Strive is if you come into fitness and then I hurt you, whether it's making you too sore or I end up hurting one of your joints, that's the last place you're going to go. So it's going to be a deterrent to wanting to be in the gym, whether it's my gym or any gym in town. So the last thing we want to do is deter anyone from wanting to be healthier and going to the gym and being active. So even if they don't stay with us, we want them to learn something about themselves, learn how to do things correctly. And if they go to another gym, great. We want them moving and being active because that makes our job of our physicians much easier.
Now, what are some common myths people believe about fitness or getting back into exercise after an injury or long break?
Probably, I'm too old. I hear that one a lot. If you could see some of my 90-year-old clients, I don't even tell them what the weight of the dumbbell is anymore, just because I don't want them to use their age as an excuse not to lift it. Mm-hmm. So, but, we accommodate, we meet you where you are. We're just not going to leave you there. We're going to try to get you to that next level. And so we just walk with you hand in hand and just keep motivating you and pushing you and progressing you in a safe manner to do that. So you're never too old. I see some great success stories downstairs that I just would bring tears to your eyes if you see some of the people that and the things that they've been able to accomplish and do. One of my trainers got an email picture of one of her clients who has had some major issues, walks very bent over, has major back stuff. He started with our physical therapy and wanted to continue on, but he has a really hard time walking and getting around for long periods of time or sitting for long periods of time. And he's been working with one of my training staff for a little while now. And one of his goals this year was to be able to take his wife on their anniversary dinner and to make it through dinner and have a nice dinner without feeling like they have to rush home because he was in pain. And he sent a picture of them toasting at their anniversary. And it was just beautiful. Like we all just got really teary. Oh my, absolutely, absolutely. Those stories just mean so much because they're invested and so are we. And they know we are because they're sharing that with us. They're sending us the picture to see, look. And that's just, it's great, and he has a never give up attitude and he's older, but he didn't say no to lifting those weights and doing the things that my trainer and my staff is asking him to do. And he's meeting his goals. So I think saying that you're too old is definitely not an excuse. You can always find something you can do. Always. Or I think sometimes after injury, people think they can't get back into fitness after like a surgery or maybe like a hip replacement or even a back surgery. And I tell them there's always something we can help you find that you can do. That's the whole point. Like, why have the surgery if you're not going to then get back onto living? Like, get back to life, right? That was the purpose, was so that you could have a fulfilled, future. So you want to be out of pain, or they have to fix something because you want to get back to being able to engage in all the things that you love doing. So let's find it. So maybe we have to redefine it, right? And there might be some redefinition in there where we have to kind of, maybe it wasn't this anymore, but what does that look like? What can we help you find that you can do so that you stay active and engaged and feel good in your body? We want you to feel good walking around and moving around. So we need to find what that looks like for you. So if you can't golf anymore, let us help you find other movement patterns and things that you can do to stay healthy and active, whatever that looks like for you. So, okay, in your 30s, you used to run 40 miles a week. Okay, you can't do that anymore, but what can you do? Let's find that.
Absolutely. Now, what's one thing you want our listeners to remember when it comes to taking control of their health and fitness?
You have to be your own best advocate for sure. I tell my clients all the time, and even when their doctors refer them to me, at some point in our evaluation, I tell them all the time, nobody knows your body better than you. Your doctor and myself might be more educated in it. We might have more years of learning about it and how it moves and about the disease or about the infliction that you're going through, but no one knows it better than you. So trust that. Know that there's always something that you can do. You have to be a participant in that kind of team. So it can't be just the doctor telling you, it can't be just me. Be your own best advocate and learn how to work within that and listen to your body. If something's telling you it's not right, then it's probably not. And if something feels good and it's working for you, then we got to keep with that. And you have to be consistent and stay with that, right? Don't stop doing it because it's worked and you feel better. It means it's feeling better for a reason. Maybe I should keep doing that my body tends to like. If you can't run anymore and now you've started swimming and your body feels amazing swimming, keep swimming. And if the pool closes, find another pool. Just keep at it. Be your own best advocate for what you need and stay after it.
Yeah. What do you do to stay active?
Obviously, I have to model a healthy lifestyle, right? I can't preach it without doing it. Here's the hard part. And I think probably if you talk to some of our physicians in TPMG, they'll probably say the same thing. They're probably their own worst patients. If you're really passionate, and I think if you're really good at what you do, it's because you have a service heart and you're so busy giving it that you forget to take it. So there's a lot of times where I'm like, man, I really need to get out and walk today, because all of a sudden it's 8:00 and I've just poured so much into every client that I've had that day that I'm just exhausted, because right now they matter. And so I'm just in this mode in life right now where I've had my time in college as a college athlete. I've been there and done those things. I've set some good goals. I've had some great accomplishments that I'm very proud of. I've come back from several injuries. And so having gone through that, knowing how much and how important it is to have that coach and cheerleader by your side to get you through, I think I pour so much now on the backside of that I sort of forget about what I need to do. So I'm still sort of in the basics. And now that my kids have gotten older, I'm starting to find myself more and more getting back into the gym and lifting. I love to lift. So definitely putting on some really good music and just racking weights and doing stuff that I did in college. That's what feels good to me. I'm not a big runner. I keep telling myself, that maybe I get a bike because I do want to be outside, that maybe
it
biking.
Seems like a good idea, but then the bike itself, and then if you want to put it somewhere and the chain, I understand.
I haven't quite gotten there yet, but yeah.
Now, how can someone sign up or learn more about TPMG Strive's programs?
We have a wonderful website. It is amazing. You can find out so much information, not only about TPMG and our physicians, but about our physical therapy offices and about Strive here in Williamsburg. So if you go to My TPMG, you can find that right on the website. You can find out, look at my background, my trainer's background. You can find out our class schedules. You can see descriptions of classes, a little bit about our one-on-ones. You can always shoot us an email. Our emails are up with our bios, or you can call our office. Our office number is 757-345-2512. And our front desk is amazing at making sure they give you the answers. And if they don't have it, they will take your information, and my staff or myself will give you a call back within 24 hours and make sure that we answer those questions for you.
Tina, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights on medically based fitness and the incredible work happening at TPMG Strive Fitness and Sports Performance. And thank you to our listeners for tuning into this episode of TPMG Health Talk. Don't forget to subscribe and visit mytpmg.com to learn more about TPMG Strive Fitness and Sports Performance and all the services available through Tidewater Physicians Multi-Specialty Group. Until next time, take care.
The information shared on today's podcast is not intended to be medical advice, nor is it meant to replace a professional consultation with a healthcare provider. The opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of TPMG or its providers and physicians.